Now, both of these people went back to their vehicle and got masks on because of the sign on the door. And they're obviously trying to be compliant with city policies. How are you doing?
Okay, how about you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're Officer Lopez?
I am. What's your name? First and last.
Case 130 and 156, for service at the MAGs. Said that there was a male in the MAGs lobby, possibly intoxicated, that was causing a disturbance.
What's your name, sir?
Hold on just a second while I start my video.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. You identified yourself as Officer Lopez. My vision's not so good.
What is your name, first and last?
What's your badge number?
Yeah, I'm good. What's your first and last name?
What is the reason for you asking my name?
We got a call over here at the magistrate of a person causing a disturbance, and it's matching your description.
Okay, what kind of disturbance was that person causing?
Person with the stick, ringing the doorbell constantly. What's your first and last name?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay, goodbye then. Take off. The business is closed for the day.
Excuse me, sir?
I said take off.
Okay, first of all, you're going to lie to me? You're a piece of shit. I really believe that. No, you can go fuck yourself. You coming up and trying to start shit is inappropriate, Officer Lopez. So again, you can go fuck yourself. What a lying piece of shit, sitting here saying I walked up and rang the doorbell constantly. Can you get your supervisor out here, Officer Lopez? What's that, Officer Lopez? You're not going to call your supervisor? Officer Lopez, I'm asking for your supervisor. Again, this is what I'm talking about. San Antonio police just cannot let things go. They hate people who film in public, and they always have to cough up with an ego. They always have to boost things where they don't need to go. So they can go fuck themselves. Can you confirm that?
Yes, sir. That's the number that I show.
Okay.
And so you want an officer out there for what?
He needs to speak with his officer about how he approaches the public and lies to the public and infers that he has authority he does not have. Your officer came up to me, made false allegations, demanded my ID with no legal cause for it, and implied that I did something that I did not do. And I don't appreciate it.
Okay. And what was the name of the officer?
He says his name's Lopez. He wouldn't give me his badge number. And I'm like, no.
Did the call taker say that?
Yeah, it was about the button. I think that was the issue because we already discussed though how far you can go, and we know it's okay for you to go down the sidewalk.
Okay, so you need to contact whoever the call taker is. Exactly. The issue is ringing the doorbell.
So
if I did not do that, if I did not do that, and video evidence will show I did not do that. I want to know who made this call alleging I pushed a button, because I can guarantee you that that didn't come in on the complaint.
No, it's it.
I'm pretty sure it was on the key card, yeah. But it might have been somebody else. They said someone with a skateboard. You obviously don't have a skateboard with you. So.
Okay.
There's a person on a skateboard down the street.
I'm not disputing that, because there was a person with a skateboard here. But your officer could clearly see I don't have a skateboard. What he told me was that a person with a walking stick was repeatedly pushing that button.
Okay.
Did you read that on the? I mean,
I didn't see that
either way, when your officer,
Sorry, I think we're just going to go in complete circle. I'll talk to Officer Lopez. If you think that he was too quick to make an accusation that you were the other guy that he was looking for, he was called for in the parking lot?
No, he could have approached the guy with the skateboard.
Okay, but he approached you. So we'll tell him we'll share at roll call where you can and cannot go. Anything not fenced, in my opinion, you can go, except for minus that alley. And then we'll share it with them, and
Sergeant Robarts,
Yes,
I
sir.
went over this with Captain Garcia. I went over this with Lieutenant Zuniga. I went over this with Lieutenant Berrigan down at Bike Patrol about officers doing unlawful things. Today was another one. Issue again goes back to this officer. I'm sorry, Sergeant Robarts. Again, you know me. Do I appear intoxicated to you?
I'm just telling you what a caller called in and said.
Okay.
I'm not telling you, it's not what he said. This is what someone who called said, hey man, there's a man in the parking lot with a stick. He appears to be intoxicated.
And he alleged that I kept pushing a doorbell, which was not in the call. I guarantee you that was not in the call.
That I don't know.
I guarantee you it was not in the call. Sergeant Valdez here, he knows me. I don't push issues. You were
I'm sorry.
polite with me when Sergeant Lynn came out there and gave me the unlawful order. I didn't push that. I came back here, I confronted the unlawful orders. That's what I do. I come out here, I follow up on signs, and your officer comes up to me with all kinds of attitude saying, oh no, you're doing, and I'm like, no, you need to back off.
So let me ask you this, did you ever hear from the attorney?
From James Cobb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. You took down the illegal signs that I was adamant about. If you notice, your signs that your officers kept telling citizens they would arrest them for if they walked into your lobby, they took those signs down. There's a reason I do what I do. It's not to get officers in trouble. It's to make sure citizens' rights aren't violated. That wasn't even why the officer approached me. He came up to me and alleged I was causing a public disturbance. And I'm standing here and I'm going, what kind of disturbance? And then he says, you keep pushing the button down it. And I'm like, no.
Did the call taker say that?
Yeah, it was about the button. I think that was the issue because we already discussed how far you can go, and we know it's okay for you to go down the sidewalk.
Okay, so you need to contact whoever the call taker is, and you need to go look at that. And
I'm pretty sure it was on the key card. Yeah, but it might have been somebody else. They said someone with a skateboard. You obviously don't have a skateboard.
Yeah.
With you, so.
Okay.
And there's a person on a skateboard down the street. So.
I'm not disputing that because there was a person with the skateboard here, and I'm not disputing that either. But your officer could clearly see I don't have a skateboard. What he told me was that a person with a walking stick was repeatedly pushing that button.
Okay.
Did you read that on the? I mean,
I didn't see that
either. Absolutely not.
You came up here with the sole purpose of basically checking up on us. You came up here with that sole purpose.
I came up here to make sure the signs.
Okay, so we'll go with that. So you came up here with the sole purpose of checking. You didn't come up here to pay your tickets. You didn't come up here to do something in municipal court or the police station. You came up here with the sole purpose of checking up on us. Right?
I came up here, and yeah, I'm not going to get into
Good.
semantics.
Then you have to understand. Our perspective is, hey man, if you were up here and you got confused with doing something wrong and you were selling Girl Scout cookies or you were doing something to help wounded veterans, and there's great causes, but when someone's up here and they're just up here to test you out, like, hey man, we got a million calls, we got people, a lady overdosed about 4 blocks from here, we got a lot of stuff going on, and when you spend time coming over here because somebody just wants to test you, it gets frustrating.
Okay.
Because that woman, we didn't get to send somebody to that call. She had to wait there, overdosed on LSD on the side of the street, because we have so many calls coming in. So when a person comes over here and is just testing you, and we have to send 2 officers over here for this, and other people aren't getting their calls, it gets frustrating.
Sir Robarts.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be flat out with you.
I appreciate that.
That's complete bullshit, your explanation. And I tell you that because, again, you say I'm coming over here testing you. No, I came up and I checked up on the signs. I walked down here. I made sure the unlawful gun signs were removed so that my city did not get sued. And then I walked down and I was waiting for PD 22 from Viatrans to come out so I could talk to him. Okay, he had someone back in the detention area. That area is clearly marked off limits. I didn't go in there. I waited. He drove out. He didn't want to talk to me. He drove off. I didn't make a scene. I walked out. I waited out here. I was finishing comments, and your officer approached me inappropriately. And again, if he's doing an investigation, why is he approaching me instead of going down there? Because again, the guy with the skateboard was actually walking from here that way. So when your officer is going to say, well, I mean, you just said, in this other Sergeant Valdez said, oh, well, the description was a guy with a skateboard. And the officer said, oh, it's a guy with a stick. Now, one of two things is not true. Either the guy had a stick and a skateboard, or the officer decided to lie and say, oh, well, I'm confused. Stick, skateboard, they're the same thing.
Okay.
But again,
Okay.
why he's going to choose, hey, maybe he's like, well, maybe it came across wrong. I'll still check with him. Okay, that's fine. But when I ask him, when his first thing is, you need to give me your name and your date of birth, and I say, why?
Okay.
He won't even answer that. And again, officers don't like it when citizens say, why are you asking me a question? And that is the sole problem with officers in this town. They all get their feelings hurt. You keep saying, my feelings were hurt based off the way the officer approached me. No, his feelings are hurt because I didn't say, hey, my name's Tori Reese.
Okay.
You know my name. Everyone in this damn precinct knows my name. Everyone in San Antonio can look up my Fusion file. I don't hide who I am. But when an officer comes up and demands my ID,
Okay.
I have to say why.
Are you done or here, or are you still waiting for somebody else?
At this point, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to record how many vehicles come in and out of the San Antonio Police Department area.
Okay.
This is a public area.
Absolutely.
I'm entitled to be here.
Absolutely.
And I will probably be gone within 10 minutes unless another officer comes up and harasses me. I mean,
Okay.
I would have been going anyway. It's raining. I got no reason to be down
I'm
here.
with you. Perfect. Okay.
Uh,
Hey, I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
I had a Merry Christmas.
Aye.
I did.
We'll get through it.
No, I had a Merry Christmas,
Good.
and I'll
I'm
have a
glad
Happy
you did.
New Year.
I am truly glad you did.
And honestly, Sergeant Robarts, you're not aware of the other issues after this, but down at Bike Patrol, I was unlawfully arrested for failure to ID. No, I know you're not aware of it,
Yeah.
but this is why when officers demand my ID, I am so adamant, because your officers don't even know the law. And when I told Captain Garcia about it, he said, oh, I didn't